What's good with y'all, man? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get a free 200,000 MT in NBA 2K23 Myteam. But before we get into it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like on this video right now and subscribe to the channel. I post Myteam videos every single day, so go ahead and sub up. But let's get straight into this. So you clicked on this video because you want to know how to get a free 200,000 MT in Myteam, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Now, in order to do this, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to be investing in these new NBA playoff cards. So I've already went over a lot of these cards in previous videos, like for example to pick up on a Tatum and guys of that nature. But basically, let me go back here and tell you guys exactly what I'm saying. So when you pick up these cards, like for example, if you picked up one of these Jason Tatums out of Galaxy Opal, if he has a big playoff game where he goes for like 35 points and a W, he will evo up to a Dark Matter, meaning that you can sell him for much more than you bought him for initially. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys some of the best investments to pick up with for these cards right here, and you can literally make at least 200,000 MT in a day if you pick the right cards. Like for example, the other day I made over 600,000 MT by investing in a couple of Westbrooks while using Opal, and he went up to a Dark Matter and I sold them for tons of profit. So that is one example of what you could do. But let me show you guys some of the players that you should invest in. Again, if you guys have seen some of my previous videos, you know I've already talked about guys like Tatum, but today I'm going to show you guys a brand new one that I want to tell you guys about now that you need to get in on, especially because the game probably already started at the time you seeing this video possibly, and that is going to be over here on the Suns, and it's going to be Chris Paul. The reason why I think this is such a good investment is because of how cheap he is. Look at this, 23,000 MT is the cheapest right now. And you know what? I'm actually about to pick that up because that's by far the cheapest one. And I think I just sniped one right now on this video as you guys are watching it, if I do get it. And I was able to get it. It's by far the cheapest one here. The rest of them are around 40, 50K. And this one's probably going to end for about 30K. But all in all, you could probably get them for like under 50,000 MT or around 50K. And it's worth the investment because, again, CP3 just needs one big game and he will evo up to a Dark Matter. So it's worth going ahead and taking the risk. He's a great player, and they're playing in the second round against the Suns. They have a really good chance of winning. So as long as he goes off for one good game throughout the entire series, he's going up to a Dark Matter. And obviously, if he goes up to a Dark Matter, at least the first day, at least for sure, he will be over 100,000 MT. And then he'll eventually probably settle down to a buy now, but he'll certainly be more than 40, 50K. He'll be at least 100K on the first day, so you'll be doubling your MT, and if you get multiple of them, you can be getting hundreds of thousands of MT if this CP3 does pan out. And as you guys saw, I did just go ahead and pick one up. Oh, and by the way, if you guys saw one of my previous videos, my Luka ended up selling for 976K, which I did not expect. That is insane. I'm going to claim that right now. Let's see how much MT I'm at. I'm now at 1.2 million MT, and let me tell you, a massive part of that is from investing in these playoff cards. As you can see, I still have a ton of them here, but I've already sold a ton of them that are evoed already, which is how I got to 1.2 million MT. But as you can see here, I have a ton of these cards that I'm investing in, and that is the second CP3 that I picked up. I have a bunch of Rob Williamses because he's very cheap. That's another one I want to tell you guys about. This Rob Williams is going to be much more risky than CP3. CP3 is a safer bet, but with this Rob Williams, as you can see, you can get him for a couple thousand MT, so picking a couple of these up is not that much of a risk in terms of how much MT you would have to spend, but he's definitely not guaranteed to have a big game, and he's not guaranteed to evo because obviously he hasn't been getting too many minutes in some of the previous games, even though I think he'll get more minutes here in the second round against Embiid to match up against him on the Sixers. Which is why I did invest in him, and I do suggest you guys pick up maybe 1, 2, 3 of them. Again, they're only going for a couple thousand MT, and if he does have a big game, he goes up to a Dark Matter, and just like CP3, first day he'll for sure be over 100K. So if you pick them up for 5K, you saw one of them was up there for 5K. And if he evos up to a Dark Matter, you're looking at a pure 95K profit minimum from just one of them. So let's say you pick up 3, 4 of them, now you're looking at like 400K MT, which is more than even the title in this video. So that's another great cheap investment to pick up. But again, I would say that CP3 is safer in terms of that. They're both a little bit risky, but Rob Williams is definitely more risky because he's not a starter, so he's not guaranteed to have an evo. Another one that's a pretty good one to take a chance on is Rui Hachimura. And as you can see, I do have one of him. He's going to be a 6'8" small forward, so he's going to go for a ton of MT if he does evo again. So let's see how much he's going for. He's right here. As you can see, wow, he's even cheaper than I thought. I might pick up another one. He's going for like 15k MT, even less, like 10, 15k. That's worth the risk. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario, he doesn't evo, you lose 10, 15k. Best case scenario, he evos up to a dark matter, you make 80, 90k. I'm probably going to pick up another one of these Ruiz right now, actually, because this is way, way too cheap. Let's see here. Actually, I don't have to do it right now. I'm going to wait for like the day of a Lakers game because there's no point in waiting it out. But again, make sure you get on that CP3 now because, like I said, at the time of you watching this, the game might have already started. He could be going off right now. He could have like 20 points right now. Most likely, it probably won't be tonight, to be honest with you. But sometime throughout the series, he will definitely have a big game and will probably evo up to a dark matter. So get it as early as you can. As you can see, his price is already going up. I picked one up for 23k. Now the cheapest one is 40k. But again, I would definitely pick him up even for 50k. When you get to around the 80k range, now it's questionable. I don't think I'd spend 80k on a CP3, but I would certainly spend 20, 40, 50, maybe even 60k, and be willing to take that risk on for CP3 because we saw him last year with some massive games in the playoffs, where he just absolutely went off, and I'm expecting to see that again here in the second round against the Nuggets. So CP3 is a very, very good investment. Obviously, teams like the Memphis Grizzlies are out of the playoffs, so you don't want to invest in any players like John Morant or anything of that nature. Same, like literally any team that's already out, just don't invest in. Now, if you made it this far into the video, comment the word Curry, because I want to tell you guys about Steph Curry. This is a very risky one at this point in time. They have a Game 7 tomorrow night against the Kings, where if they lose, he will guarantee not get an Evo, but if they win, they go to the second round, and he has a really good chance of Evoing during the second round, which is why his price has dropped so much. But it's going to be a really hard Game 7 for them because they're playing in Sacramento, so it's not going to be a home game for the Warriors. It's going to be a Game 7 on the road. They've been horrible on the road all year long, so this Curry is really, really risky. But if he does end up evoing, you're going to be making a ton of MT off of him. So I'm really considering. Oh, okay, so it's over 100k. I'm going to bid 110. So I just bid 110k, and we're going to see if I'm able to go ahead and win this Curry for 110. Again, I think it's worth taking the risk. But it's really, really risky because they have a Game 7 coming up, and if they lose that Game 7, he's guaranteed to not have an Evo, which means I'll lose out on a lot of MT. But just going to have to hope for Curry. I believe in the Warriors. I believe in Curry to go ahead and take care of business in Game 7. So I'm going to try to pick up on one of these Currys. I wouldn't spend more than 130 on him if Game 7 hasn't happened yet, but if they win Game 7, his price is going to skyrocket to over 200k. I'm thinking about investing in another one. I don't know. I want to just see how much I can win this one for first, and then we'll see what we can go ahead and do from there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't think there's really any other. I mean, Joel Embiid, but he's injured, so he's definitely a risky one, but it could end up panning out. But again, he's injured. He's going to be missing Game 1 probably, so it is risky for the Heat. I mean, you could be looking at possibly. I don't know. I wouldn't even do anyone on the Heat, honestly. I don't think there's anyone on the Heat that'll have a really crazy Evo. So in the East, it's what? Celtics, Sixers. Harden's a decent one. Not guaranteed because he's had a lot of chokes in the playoffs, but it could be a decent one. And then the other series is Knicks. I've already told you guys a bunch of times about Jalen Brunson. This is a really good one if you can get him for 15k, which I've gotten multiple of him for. He just needs one big game in the second round, and he goes up to a dark matter, and it'll be like 100k at least first day, meaning you're looking at 80k profit from these Brunsons on each one. So that's a solid cheap investment that you can also go ahead and do. And then they're playing the Heat, and then over in the West, it's what? The Nuggets and the Suns. MPJ could be a decent investment. For 75k, if you have a lot of MT to spare, I think it's worth giving it a shot. Even 69k, he's not guaranteed to have a massive game in the second round against the Suns. He didn't really have any crazy games in the first round, so again, he's not guaranteed. But he is a really good player, and there's a pretty decent chance that he has a big game throughout that series, and if he does, he's going to be very expensive because of the fact that he's a 6'10" small forward, which is a very good height for the small forward spot, and they'll probably give him some really good animation, so it's definitely worth going ahead and possibly risking. I don't know, I might. I think if he was a little bit cheaper, I would for sure, but 69k, I'm not too sure. We'll see if I do it. I mean, anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know which cards you guys have invested in. Comment the word MPJ if you made it this far in the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like and sub up. I'm out of here, boys. Peace.